Should be streaming soon.
All right.
Now.
Yeah, it says on air.
Hey.
Hey, air on the side of caution. Am I right?
Oh.
Yeah. Welcome to a Friday edition.
Friday.
That's something.
Oh, I definitely need to promote this on Facebook. Facebook, the most relevant social media net platform.
Oh, so relevant, especially the way that their algorithm is working for me lately. I don't know if you've been on Facebook lately, but it's such garbage.
It is trash.
I've seen a lot of erectile dysfunction ads.
Oh, I'm not getting that. Oh, that's very.
That's coming, and you will now. Your phone hears me.
You know what? Oh, you son of a gun! You're right.
Yeah.
Phone. That reminds me. I should put do not disturb on. It's a live stream. This is how people live stream.
It's funny that the episode is what is the deal, because what I don't know. I guess we do kind of have Seinfeld references here and there, don't we? Not very often though. It's not like we're the Seinfeld cast or anything.
Right.
But Seinfeld is so baked in to pop culture that you almost can't help but at some point mention Seinfeld. At the very least, you got to bring up the soup Nazi. That was his name, right? They called him that.
That is, yeah. Well, that's what they called him.
Yeah.
That's how they always referred to him.
No soup for you.
Yeah, I mean, Seinfeld definitely references through cultural osmosis. I know it wouldn't come from Melanie, because I think Seinfeld's one of those things she has a strong distaste for. Hey, Melanie.
Oh.
Do you hate Seinfeld? What are your feelings on Seinfeld? She never cared for it. But also it's one of those cringy, awkward, hard to watch shows, and she cannot handle those at all. So,
yeah.
But of course we've made Seinfeld references over the years. We had to have. It's in the cultural zeitgeist.
I didn't even really watch the show. It was one of those shows that just happened to be on, and sometimes I would catch myself watching it.
Well,
because it was in that prime slot, that prime time slot.
I'm just thinking about it now. It's kind of interesting because I feel like the whole cultural zeitgeist thing occurs differently now. It's stuff that's online and everybody's online, and that's where it gets in there. Where it used to be, maybe you had cable, but either way, there was 5 TV channels, and there were certain shows that were just seemingly always on, including shows from well before we were even born, and so I Love Lucy and MASH. Well, I don't know
the 60s shows for sure.
Right, and
well, MASH ran for good. What was it? 9 seasons? Maybe it was more than that. No, nine.
That might have still been running while you're alive. I don't know. I don't know when it ended. It was over before
I think it was
born.
In syndication. Yeah,
right.
I'm pretty sure it was in syndication.
Syndication, though, that's a big thing. Is including Seinfeld. It was big when it was on, but also it seemed like at a certain point it was just on every night in syndication on some channel. And there's a lot of stuff that would just soak in that way because it was all these shows were always running some point reruns, and you'd catch it because there weren't, a bunch of streaming services and YouTube and whatever else to distract you from, to take attention from it.
I was wrong. My brain wanted to say 11, and it was 11. It wasn't 9. I guess I keep thinking of Friends and those kinds of shows where it's man, if you went that long, that was something else. But yeah, MASH was 11 seasons and a movie.
Oh, I'm wrong. I was alive when it was still running. It ended in 83, it says. Well, you know what? I can't. Okay, yeah, I'll trust Wikipedia.
I don't think I was paying attention though in 83,
Oh no, I was 1. So but
yeah.
But I know you're just a couple years older than me. It's not like you're
sure.
But I figured it was probably still running at least when you were, some age.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been interested in it
No.
at that age. Like I got more interested in it as I got older, and I was like, oh, even though this is all drab and everybody's wearing the same color except for, Hawkeye and Honeycutt, they'd wear Hawaiian shirts once in a while. Like it's pretty funny. Like that's one of those things I would catch myself keying into, and it was like always after the cartoon block. It's like the first adult show right after the
What a weird
cartoons
choice.
or the
What a
Power
weird
Rangers or
choice.
whatever was over. Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'd catch it because it'd be on some channel when at night. It would also be run at night, not late enough to where I was in bed, early enough to where I still wanted to watch TV, but like everything else switched over to news maybe, or some other like later night television that I was like, this is junk, and I'd watch it that way. To be honest, I wasn't.
It was always on Fox. It was always on KPTM or whatever.
Yeah. Welcome to Grawlix Podcast. Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Jesse.
Melanie's in the other room.
She is, and she does not care much for Seinfeld.
No, she doesn't care much for it. Seinfeld, and it's so funny because I do have kind of a distaste for it. Like it's fine and it's funny. I get it. And also just kind of Larry David's whole shtick has the same type of vibe. Although right. I don't know, I guess more tolerant of him than Jerry Seinfeld himself at this point in time. But it's so funny because there's something still off-putting about it. Yet I love It's Always Sunny, and It's Always Sunny would not be what it is if
I was
Seinfeld
gonna say
didn't
it's the
exist.
boilerplate.
Yeah,
for a lot of shows after the fact, like a lot of shows were like before it was like the show always had to be about like some bizarre thing, like My Two Dads,
right?
Full House. There's a single dad and his two brothers are gonna help raise these girls to adulthood.
It's true.
Like there always had to be a hook, and then Seinfeld came along and it's like, nah, it's a show about nothing. It's just me and my friends, and we're just gonna do whatever.
It's so funny because by its nature, by sitcoms, by their nature, aren't really about things. It's just situational comedy, and every episode's going to reset. So like things, there's not like a big arc that can happen, but they did still have to have that hook. They still had to have some reason. When it's like, that's not necessary. You just have these characters and they're doing things. That's what it boils down to.
Right. Well, all the shows had to have some kind of a hook. Even the like action adventure type shows is like, one man can make a difference because he's got a robot car that talks to him. He's Michael Knight.
Sure.
And then was it like TJ Hooker and Magnum PI? Magnum PI, he's a private eye and he has a mustache. He's a ladies' man and he's got a car. You're muted, dude.
Shoot. Okay. I was saying, I feel like we have thoroughly alienated any potential listeners under the age of like 37 right now.
Listen, we're men of a certain age. Listen, if you understand a single thing we were talking about, it's time to schedule that colonoscopy.
Oh, God. Every time I see it sucks. Every time. I'm not there just yet. Although I feel like they keep pushing the age back a little bit, but every time
they do, they're like, no, you probably should.
Every time I go to the doctor, he's like, well, it's getting about that time. Not yet. He's like warning me though. Every time I see him.
Right.
But next year or a couple of years, I feel like he's been saying that for a couple of years now. We'll be looking at getting that done. It's like, I feel like he that way I can't be like,
he's slow launching it. He's like soft launching it for you. He's
easing
like,
it in.
This is coming, dude.
He's easing it in.
No, they give you drugs for that.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway. So we'll be
Who
talking.
is this stream for?
I don't know, man. I mean, kind of the same people. It's always been for us and us alone.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And Matty D.
And Matty D.
When he gets a chance.
Oh,
yeah.
he is
They
definitely
hit 100. Congratulations, guys.
I don't recognize it. No, yes, congratulations.
It's not legitimate.
It's not
that's
legitimate.
Not a real number.
I don't know how he did it. He cheated somehow.
Oh no. Stop the steal.
I actually made a point of, with Edge of the Abyss, once I hit 100 just after I hit 100, I made a point to switch over to numbering because it was just dates before, just to 100 and something, just because I should have intentionally skipped episode 100 and just like, nope, this is episode 101.
Like an introductory level class.
Right. I wonder, what episode did I start numbering them? Not that it matters, because there's not exactly like a big crossover between this and Matt's show, or Edge of the Abyss Extreme Metal.
But it's a running gag, and we can appreciate a good gag.
Oh, it was episode 100. I switched from doing like 03/27/2026, just the date. On episode 100, I switched to Edge of the Abyss number 100. It was intentional. Anyway, that amuses no one but us, and barely even that. So we are going to talk about some things that are not just old man things. We're going to talk about some Doctor Who stuff specifically.
Just a 62-year-old, not an old man thing, but the show's been around for 60 plus years. So
kids love Doctor Who, right?
They love it.
It's gonna be cartoon.
That's why it's being canceled.
Well, we'll get into it. We'll get into that. I'm no expert, but I have been reading up on it, of course, and of course we have some thoughts. I thought there was something else. Oh, there was some other, the whole WB thing.
Oh yeah, I just
Paramount
saw something on
merger
that.
thing.
What?
Yeah.
What now?
The government okayed that, of course, because
of course they did.
Paramount delivered what he wanted.
Because they're canceling every series about space socialism. Oh, Doctor Who is slowly dying also. That's Star Trek.
That's
Star Trek and Doctor Who.
That's interesting.
Parallel tracks here.
You're right. That's interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about that other than like, of course, money is king. We love monopolies here. Only nothing bad can happen. Only good can happen. Wait, that's not even what it was. Nothing bad can happen. Only good. I don't remember what it was. A stupid thing Trump said at some point. Only good happen.
Right. Only good can happen. It was one of his paraphases. Like weird. No, actually paraphases where he does that dip and then just moves on.
Right. I guess before we get into that, first off, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Trying to maintain some semblance of a structure to this show.
Right. Because without Melanie, we are just ships lost at sea.
Yeah. You watch anything interesting? Consume anything interesting lately?
I mean, I've consumed a whole bunch. I don't know how much of it is interesting to anyone.
Sure.
Sure. But like the one I can talk about really briefly is I was feeling the vacancy of Peter David in my life, and so I had to bust into some Spider-Man 2099 comics. There was a whole, I don't know what was going on, but because I miss anything that's current with comics now, but they did a whole block of like symbiote comics and symbiote. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it because every time I've heard it, it's been wrong. There was like an omnibus of different symbiote comics that were done by Peter David, and this is the one that was most interesting to me was the Spider-Man 2099 run. And it's interesting because that the Venom of 2099 is actually Miguel O'Hara's brother, but he doesn't know it, or he doesn't. I don't know. He knows it, but his other brother doesn't know it, and it's this whole thing where like Miguel's mom doesn't want him to know about it. It's this whole bizarre thing. And so like in this one, Miguel winds up with it's basically the Carnage type of scenario where Alchemax has another symbiote because it spawned, like the Venom one created a spawn. And so now it's like the two of them, and they're actual brothers, and they're all being crazy Venoms together. And it's bonkers, but it was fun.
So that's a recent thing?
Fairly recent, but
yeah.
I mean, like it's been out for quite a while now. I
Okay.
couldn't actually tell you when it came out. I suppose I could look right here in the cover. 2024. So
okay.
Relatively recent,
Sure.
last 2 years.
It's so hard to keep up. It's so hard to keep up with comic goings.
You'll find out about a thing and it'll be like, how old is that? Really old.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I picked this up. I don't know if you've seen this around. Weapon Brown. I didn't know anything about it until I saw a literal action figure, and I was like, that's a beefed up Charlie Brown. What's going on there?
Wait, what?
That's
really?
Yeah. It's a whole thing where it's like it's Charlie Brown, and he basically does battle with all sorts of like old school comic characters like Popeye, like Little Orphan Annie, like Calvin and Hobbes. But it's super like 90s violent kind of thing. And it's in like a post-apocalyptic world, and it's all like black and white, kind of like the like this phone book essential Marvel comics that they used to put out, which I really loved because it was like you get to see all the awesome inks of yesteryear.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, these really did stand up without color.
Yeah, that looks wild. I didn't hear anything about that. It's just yeah, anytime I try to tap in to see like what's going on, comics really is like the hardest thing to break into. It's never been new reader friendly. Something like that isn't so bad though. Because that's like its own thing. It's not like
it's like an independent thing. And yeah. It's kind of like Jeff Smith's Bone, where it's like, oh, it's done, so you can basically buy the whole thing.
Right. We read Bone once.
We did.
Way back when
we had a pull list, and it was they had a bone to pick.
Yeah, that's right.
With us.
That's right. Well, I'll jump in real quick and say Melanie and I last week, I don't think we talked. I feel like we did talk about it, but we haven't streamed since this. So we went and saw Backrooms. We're going to do Backrooms in Obsession. We're going to do that's the Barbenheimer of this year, I think, is Backrooms and Obsession. But I had to bail before Obsession, which is unfortunate. That's the one I really wanted to see. But whoa, weird thing happened on my screen. But it was good. I give it 3.5 stars. So I mean, I guess it wasn't like amazing, but I enjoyed it. I don't really. Backrooms isn't really, I guess, necessarily a Grawlix thing, but I'll say this: it's over long. I don't mind a slow burn, but it is a slow burn, so that's like a mark against it. But it's weird in a way that I think is a mark for it, is a pro. Yeah, I guess I don't really have anything else to say about Backrooms. But then again, there's been a million videos and articles and posts about it online since the movie came out, so there's not much that needs to be said, except 20-year-old dude making a blockbuster. It's A20. Is it A24 Films? I thought it was. Let me double
That
check
would make sense.
Became their biggest, highest grossing movie of all time for A24.
Now I remember why I thought we already talked about this. It's because it was out pacing the Star Wars movie.
Right, right. Yeah. So yeah, it did big money. Which I'm not surprised about because it had the whole like internet hype, creepy like it's a creepy pasta that's been going around for a long time. So it had some hype behind it, but based on what it is, like it's weird. It is not super mainstream audience friendly. So I kind of appreciate that it's still consistently been doing as well as it has been. And yeah, it's all. And thank God it didn't get handed off to some like Hollywood hack like a Paul W.S. Anderson or something, you know. Doesn't have
Or like a Spielberg, because that's another movie that's coming out.
right, right.
Everybody's pretty pumped about that. They were like, it's going to be a throwback. And so, like, I don't know. I guess I've just gotten really cynical. Like, now when I hear that George Lucas or anybody like that is going to make a movie, I'm like, but are they?
It did seem to have yeah, what is it? Disclosure Day? I think it might have just come out or it's coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
It did seem to have a decent amount, like an okay amount of hype. I I'm not saying Spielberg's bad. Like he's a great filmmaker, of course, but like I don't have a whole bunch of big love for Spielberg. Um,
I mean,
but
back in the day, absolutely. Like
he's
his
done some
early work,
classics for
I
sure.
was so yeah, like Jaws, or I mean, like he deserves all of his flowers. However, like I don't know what Ready Player One didn't set my world on fire.
Right.
I know it basically made that book relevant, but I was like, it was fine.
I feel like there's some older directors, like big time directors that are. I think they've been struggling, not financially. I'm sure they're all fine, but they've been
Oh,
struggling
sure.
getting the stuff they want to make made, getting stuff financed. So in that respect, I do hope this does well for him. Cool. Um,
Sure.
I'm curious about it, but man, like the concept sounds good, but the trailer did not thrill me. I don't know, something about it. I was just like, oh, okay, it looks fine. But that's a trailer, so you can't judge a movie based on that. But yeah,
Right.
it didn't get me particularly excited. But maybe it's great. Who knows? Or maybe it sucks.
I mean, I don't know that I'll be rushing out to see it in theater and spend, like theater money on it. But I'll probably watch it once it hits something, like Ready Player One is like, oh, I should have just waited because it was everywhere.
Right.
Like I think it feels like literally every streaming service has taken a turn with Ready
Yeah.
Player One.
Yeah. Ready Player One's it's a real loose movie.
It's been around. It's been around the block. It's been around.
Right.
NBC had it for a while. Paramount had it for a while. Netflix had it for a while. So everybody had it.
Nah, after Backrooms, I'm not watching any films made by filmmakers older than 20 years old.
Says the guy that loves David Lynch.
Well, it's so funny you mentioned that because I think part of the thing that made me appreciate Backrooms as much as I do, because there was a little disappointment, but it is very Lynchian. Like just the way it's constructed, its pacing, it's the sound design. Like at one point, it cuts to like an outside shot, and there's a telephone pole and a bunch of whatever. There's a bunch of wires, and it's just like super intense electric hum sound, and then it cuts away, and it's a different. And I was like, that's straight out of Twin Peaks. Like that is a Twin Peaks shot. Um, so in that respect, yeah, yeah. But you're right. Lynch is not Lynch. Lynch, he was no
Anything that's
stranger.
old is new again. It was a
Yeah,
Kubrick, Lynch, you know.
right, right. Um, yeah. What else you got? Anything else? I'll bounce back to you.
I mean, speaking of spending theater money, I went and saw Masters of the Universe
Oh, that's a thing.
because I've got He-Man stuff all over my room. Yeah, I know we're not on video, but like all you have to do is see behind me to know that there's some He-Man going on in my house.
So yeah, I have. We have not talked about this. I do not know your impressions of it on it at all. I haven't seen it. I don't know that I'm going to spend theater money on it, although it does seem visually like a thing you might want to do. It's a lot of spectacle, but I'm curious about it.
It
What
is. It is. I mean, I feel like that's the thing is I did see Dolph Lundgren. Dolph Lundgren. I
Lundgren?
don't even know how to say
I
it
think it's
tonight.
Lundgren.
Anyway, Dolph. I saw the original live action He-Man as a kid and was like, who is this for? Because it's so bonkers. It's like
Yeah.
it's like it's got a bunch of made up characters. Like Karg, which is funny because Karg is a character in this version too. But like now it's fine because Karg has been around since that live action movie.
Right. He's been
Um,
established now.
yeah, no, it's fine. But it is a weird pull. It's like, oh, you're gonna do Karg instead of like Clawful or Whiplash, or like there's so many good Skeletor villains that you could throw in there, but instead you're gonna throw in Goat Man and Karg. It's just like, oh yes, Goat Man, the toy that everyone had. Nobody had that toy. I don't even know when that toy came out. So I mean, like the thing is like this movie, I'm already tearing it apart, which means I probably liked it. Mostly
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Mostly I liked it. I guess I'm just in a place, and like I don't know if we'll even get to this topic because maybe we will. Like this will stick with me. I'm
Okay.
gonna do the
Okay.
weave.
Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna do
Sure.
the weave here. You're like, here's the deal. I recently watched. I recently watched Predator Badlands,
Right. Okay.
right? And I also watched Prey, and I was like, there was something about Badlands that bugged me, and I was like, I like it. I'm like, I legitimately enjoy it. It's entertaining, and also I don't like it, and I don't know why. And then I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, it's because it's the same movie, only they flipped it and made the Predator the good guy, right? Like it's the same thing, and like everything about Prey that worked really well, the fact that um she wants to be a hunter, but there's this like cultural ritual coming of age thing that they have to like go through in order to become a hunter, right? Well, then the Predator has basically the same thing. We're like, oh, what? Well, I have to do the thing where I have to go and I have to do a hunt where I'm hunted as well. And I was like, wait a minute, this is the same movie, only this one's kind of jumping the shark and incorporating Wayland Utani. So bringing it back to Masters of the Universe, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it, and yet there was still something that was bothering me about it. Like, so I will tell you what a lot of people are saying. Like everybody that goes and sees it says it's really good, and they're like kind of freaking out because it's not making a lot of money. It's got the
Oh,
Grogu problem.
sure.
And then we're like everybody's like freaked out that we're not going to get a sequel because it's not doing well. Like they had like $100 something million budget, and it's only made like I don't know, like $60 million or something like that.
Hmm.
And it did get a boost. It has seen a boost since opening weekend. I think this week a lot of people went and saw it, which maybe will help its numbers, but it's not doing particularly well. But again, bringing it back to my point, uh, the thing that bothers me about Masters of the Universe is that we've seen so many good movies, so we know the boilerplate for how to make the movie that shouldn't work,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And so this thing is like it's fun and entertaining and so derivative.
Oh, sure.
You see the DNA of Guardians of the Galaxy right away. Like it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like a James Gunn movie. Um, but you can tell that they're like,
Right.
oh, James Gunn showed us how to do this. And then there's a moment that's straight out of Thor Ragnarok, like so much so that it like takes me out of the movie
Okay.
because it's like he's just like jumping. You know that scene where it's like
Yeah.
it's literally Led Zeppelin. It's literally the Foreigner song or the immigrant song where he's like, ah in
Uh-huh.
the at least in the trailer, and he's just like flying towards a spaceship. It's just a dude with a weapon just flying towards a spaceship, and he's like he's gonna win. I don't know if he's gonna win or not. Um so you have that moment, and I was just like, there's so many things that I recognize in this movie because I've seen it before in a different movie, and it was a
Right.
good movie, but now I'm seeing it again in a different movie. It's just like they just like patchwork grabbed things from all these movies
Oh.
that I've already seen. Like there's this scene where they're on a bridge and Beastman's just like attacking things and they're like ducking and weaving in between cars, and I'm like, this feels familiar. And it was like, this kind of reminds me of when Doc Ock attacks in No Way
Yeah.
Home. So I'm just like a lot of the big pieces of this movie feel like they begged, borrowed, and stole from other movies, and that part took me out of the film. But
Right.
then the rest of the time, I was just like, they were, and then there was a lot of like fan service. So then again, you've got like oh, who did this really well? Deadpool and Wolverine. So you've got that vibe too. It's like just
Right.
fan service, fan service, fan service, and yet done lovingly, just like Deadpool and Wolverine was. Um, so it's just like everything I like about this movie is also from other movies, and that bugs me. And also I liked it because it's He-Man, and I like all the references that they made, like they lovingly call back to the cartoon, they lovingly call back to the 80s Lundgren movie.
Mhm.
Um they do so many cool fun things right, and so I don't mind that I spent the money and it is visually stunning. The music and if I'm going to give anybody the flowers, it's the music. The music was fun. They had some fun needle drops,
Mhm.
and then they also had Elizabeth Bryan May is instrumental in the theme for the movie. So you've got like that Queen DNA in the score, which makes me think of Highlander and Flash
Yeah.
Gordon and all those kinds of things that are very He-Man connective. Um, so I don't know, like overall the cast was really good. Everybody that wanted to complain about Idris Elba was wrong. He was an awesome man at arms. Uh, the only one that I was just like kind of about was actually Evelyn. Like
Okay.
that was she felt weird, like her and Jared Leto both really hammed it up, and for Skeletor it kind of works because he's such a hammy, weird character, anyways. Like we've seen him in the cartoons for so long that it was like we're ready for a little bit camp from a skull face dude because like the skull face really brings it all together, right? Like you can be really ridiculous if you're Chucky. You can be really ridiculous if you're Skeletor. But like Evelyn was always the straight man as a woman. Like she was so much more competent than Skeletor. And so to have her be kind of hammy and over the top too was like, nah, that's not how that's supposed to work. So if I have a gripe casting wise, it was that. And I don't even know that it was the actress's fault. It's just like um, that was just a misstep there. But otherwise, really, it was fun. It was clever. It had all sorts of fun ways to explain things that just never made sense. Like, why is their name so dumb? Like, why is his name He Man? Why is Ram Man's name Ram Man? Why is it so on the nose? And so they have a fun way to explain it. Which if you're gonna go see the movie, I don't want to spoil that, but
Sure.
yeah. Or even if you're gonna see it on streaming, which this would be fine on streaming. But I will say that like the transformation scene, anytime that they do big battles, like that's fun to see on the big screen. I don't regret my money spent.
All right. Yeah.
Which also you got a 2 for 1 there because I talked about Predator. Somehow I worked Predator in there.
You did. And I was curious how it was going to connect, but it made sense. It made sense. Yeah, all right. That's a good review. I got nothing to add because I haven't seen it yet. I'm skipping over a bunch of things. I watched Weird Science. I rewatched Weird Science.
Oh, did you, man?
Randomly.
Yeah.
I also watched Send Help, which was the most recent Sam Raimi movie. It's on Hulu, so I was like, yeah, I want to see that. It was good, over the top at parts, but like more tonally. Did you ever see Drag Me to Hell?
No.
Well, that was also Sam Raimi, but like,
yeah,
it would oscillate between like a serious horror movie and the main character literally dropping an anvil on a witch's head. Like,
oh no,
crazy, right?
Yeah.
This was much more tonally consistent. It never hit like dropping anvil territory. It did hit like performing CPR on someone while also actively vomiting into their face. Like, so it went over the top in different ways.
That's so Raimi.
Yeah,
that's so Raimi.
That's so Raimi.
Is that show? That's so Raven.
So that was
that's
fine.
the T-shirt that we need.
That's so Raimi. That'd be a good.
That's so Raimi.
That'd be a good T-shirt. Yeah. Whatever. I enjoyed that.
Basically, be the That's So Raven font, but then with like blood splats in the background, and maybe Bruce Campbell's like crazy eye.
Yeah. Every shirt should have Bruce Campbell's crazy eye. It doesn't matter what it's for.
Yeah. He's the Pizza Papa.
When's that MCU movie coming out? I want to see a Pizza Papa.
Come on. That's right.
Yeah, anyway.
If he's not in Strange 3, I don't want to see it. I probably don't want to see Strange 3. I don't know.
I feel like is that even a thing that's up for?
I don't know.
I feel like that's definitely not happening. I don't know what's happening with the MCU, but
I really don't. No, really, Spider-Man's the only thing happening, and they don't even own it.
Man, I have to revisit Doctor Strange 2. I didn't hate it because it was the most Sam Raimi movie I'd seen in a long time. I feel like Doctor Strange 2, or whatever, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, was the most Sam Raimi movie I've seen since Army of Darkness. Like, I can't believe how far they let him go with some of that stuff. I mean, he's literally like a deadite zombie running around at a certain point.
Yeah. I remember liking it, but also it's one of those like Prometheus, where it's like Prometheus will forever be that movie for me. Whereas like I went to it, I think I enjoyed it while I was watching it, and then I got out of the theater and I was like, what just happened? This is forever will be that movie where it's great until I think about it.
Right. There's another movie that shoehorned some like end credit teaser that's never going to get paid off.
Right.
But then again, the entirety of Eternals is that too. So,
right.
Yeah. Anyway,
which that made me think of like a trailer that I just saw somewhere on social media, where Kumail is going to have he's going to have a comedy special, and he's very salty about about the Eternals. He's very.
Oh, I bet, man. First off, and it's not his fault. It wasn't great. No. It wasn't great. It was so like instantly forgettable, which is not good.
Right.
And that's not his fault. And So I shouldn't be like a weird parasocial thing because I used to listen to his podcast where he'd talk about video games and junk. Um, but yeah, like he used to be one of us.
You're
I
right.
was so excited for him though, because I was like, man, I know listening to that podcast, I know like he's legitimately into nerd culture and comic book stuff and video games and like all that stuff. So I was so excited for him. And it is a bummer that it went the way it did.
Yeah.
But also he he beefed up and kind of stayed beefed up and he looks scary. So he looks scary now. I feel like he would intimidate his old audience.
Well, that is basically what he does in the trailer. Is he's just like, I haven't even smelled cake in years.
Right, right.
He's like, but you guys are all waiting for me to go back. I'm never going back.
That's funny.
I'm gonna stay ripped like this out of spite.
Well, I imagine he was probably under contract to stay relatively in shape for a long time, even though nothing was happening.
Probably. Yeah.
Um,
That's the worst part. I feel like that cliffhanger was the best part of the movie.
right.
When you had Puck show up out of nowhere with what's his name? And it's like, oh man, that's fun. Where was this for the last 2.5 hours?
Right. What a misstep. Hey, let's segue.
Yeah. Speaking of cliffhangers that won't ever be resolved.
Yeah, no, okay, nah, yeah, that's the segue. Totally, you got it. I missed it. All right, so no Doctor Who hasn't been canceled. The Doctor Who Christmas special has been canceled, and nobody's making any right now. But the show has not been canceled.
That's the most bizarre part of it. Is they're like,
it's true,
no, we're totally dedicated.
right? I mean, it is true though. Like they didn't cancel it. They're like, no more Doctor Who. No. Man, that Disney deal. This is RTD's fault. I blame no one else. Okay, I blame Disney a little bit.
Right.
Okay, so here's the deal. And I looked up a little bit of information because the fandom's in a really weird way about it too. Because like we were talking a little bit before the stream, it's like, so this is, I feel like if you're a fan of the show and was hoping for more Doctor Who, at the very least a Christmas special to maybe kind of clarify the weird cliffhanger that it left on.
Right.
This is bad news. This is definitely bad news. I don't understand the people who are like, well, it needs to take a break for a few years. I don't get that. It's like, no, it just needs somebody competent, direct, and somebody like, it needs good writing is all it needs.
Yeah. It needs someone like RTD when he started it. Someone that's passionate about it. That's like, you know what? This is a thing that nobody's done anything with. And it really should be.
Right.
It really should be in existence. That's what it needs.
Yeah. What happened with the second era just seemed like at a certain point trolly and like he just has no respect for the audience's intelligence or just doesn't care.
He didn't have anything to prove. The first time around he had something to prove.
Right. That makes sense.
They all did, you know.
So yeah. BBC, I feel like people would probably know, but here's what BBC said. Okay, well, it'll be put out to competitive tender. And that's the part I looked up just to see what that meant. So basically, I've got an article, and I'm going to read you large passages of this article because this clears things up quite a bit as to like what that actually means. Excuse me. This is from Radio Times, radiotimes.com. Has Doctor Who been canceled? Competitive TV tender process for the beloved show explained. So let's get into this. Anyway, BBC confirmed Christmas special will be canceled. RTD and Bad Wolf are out. They've amicably decided to part ways, so to speak.
Part ways. Yeah.
Casting director Andy Pryor is also stepping back. Okay, so has it been canceled? No. In a statement, the BBC confirmed that Doctor Who will come back. The year's Christmas special has, however, been canceled. The statement said, Doctor Who remains an important part of the BBC, and this tender underpins the BBC's continued commitment to Doctor Who, ensuring audiences will enjoy the show for years to come. After careful, and part of this does rub me the wrong way. After careful consideration, the BBC, Russell T Davies, and Bad Wolf have collectively decided not to go ahead with the previously announced Doctor Who Christmas episode. Oh, not so much that part, but the BBC was like, instead of a one-off to bridge the gap, we decided it'd be better to give, put it out to tender and give the next. It's like, no, bridge the gap, because whoever you hand this off to now, they're not starting from like, they'll just have to do a hard reboot. Hopefully not a true hard reboot, but like,
right,
unless they can get, Billy in there somehow, like it would be nicer to bridge the gap with a one-off. Leave it in a better place than where it's at. Okay, so what is a tender process? Tenders are usually issued by large companies or public bodies like local authorities, and the chosen bidder gets paid to provide a specific service like recruitment or security for them. Blah, 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 blah. In this case, the winning company would be paid to take over production of Doctor Who from Bad Wolf, which is, RTD, Bad Wolf, they were handling the production of it.
Right.
BBC programs have gone out to tender before, lots of times. It just means that other production companies will have a chance to take a crack at it and bring new voices to the table, blah, blah, blah. It's something they are required to do by the BBC charter. Yeah, and the BBC is like a mystery to me. I still don't really understand, like, because it's like a public thing or a government sanctioned thing. It sounds like the
broadcasting company.
Yeah, it sounds like the BBC charter is like basically a thing to say, like, we have to give other production companies a fair shot, is what that seems like, what that it means. So that's why this whole tender process is a thing. So it's like, well, it's not just BBC producing stuff. It's like, we've got to give other companies a shot to produce this stuff for us or something. I don't know. That's my assumption.
Right.
Of course, BBC will announce details of their tender process in due course. Okay, so how does a tender process work? A typical tender process starts with a tender eligibility form. This article does get into it, by the way. Not like super bad, but just, I hope this is interesting.
But nuts and bolts and very specific, yeah.
Basically, so that, okay, there's a tender eligibility form so that they can shortlist financially stable companies who have at least half a chance of getting something done. A full tender invitation comes to those who pass the TEF, the tender eligibility form, and they must sign an NDA. Production companies will answer a series of questions, like mini essays, where the questions tell you exactly what you want to hear. Once the tender is submitted, usually about a month after it opens, the assessment takes place between 1 to 3 months. The BBC will invite presentations or pitches from shortlisted bidders once the assessment ends. For a huge show like this, like Doctor Who, only a few big companies will be in the running. Once the decision is made, all bidders are told, and the standstill period begins. This is apparently an 8 to 10 working day. This is 8 to 10 working days, and lets bidders challenge the decision if they feel it was wrong. If there are no issues, the contract can go ahead on the agreed date, and we'll get an announcement. It's important to note that BBC aren't selling the show as part of the process. The BBC retains all IP in Doctor Who. BBC Studios will continue to lead the global distribution of Doctor Who, as well as licensing consumer products, digital and immersive experiences on behalf of the BBC.
This sounds more transparent than our government when it comes to doing a reflecting pool.
Right. So what bidders, so the companies, they'll have to answer questions about their track record, plans for the future of the show, how quickly they can get up and running, and the public good they can do as part of the contract, like job creation and apprenticeships. And that's maybe value for money will be a key point, but crucially, it's very unlikely that they'll be obligated to take the lowest offer in case. Okay, yeah, because a lot of times when companies will do like a bit, like you bid for this contract, they'll just grab up whoever is like the lowest offer, and apparently that's not the case. They're not obligated to take the lowest offer, which is good, because then that's like through the 80s and especially the 90s, all those licensed, like there's a reason licensed video games had such a stigma, like a negative stigma,
Oh yeah.
because those licenses would go out to whatever developer was like, yeah, this much, I could do it for this much, or they'll just the lowest bid, and then they'll just pump some crap out,
Right.
Or maybe I'm
That's why
getting
like
that wrong.
Wolverine Nest, a Nintendo game back then looked like garbage, and then like now the PS5 game is going to be like a thing of beauty.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely different now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry if that was not interesting to anybody, but the important part is here. When can we expect new Doctor Who?
Right.
So the article says, let's look at two useful examples to give us an idea of timelines. Blue Peter went out to tender in February 2024, and the contract was eventually retained by BBC Studios. And that win was announced in October 2024. And BBC Studios began delivering a 2-year contract in spring of 2025. So began delivering a 2-year. So it seemed like about a year from it going out to tender. Likewise, casualty. I know words.
Casualty.
Casualty went out to tender May 2025, and the win, this is also BBC Studios, was announced in December of 2025 for spring of 2026. That's a weird, awkward, whatever. But basically, in those two cases, it's fair to guess that the tender process could take about 6 months.
Okay.
So the article pauses. Let's say the tender goes live at the beginning of August. That gives them about a month from now to get their ducks in a row. 6 months would take us through to February 2027, which ideally then like they would have the announcement like, okay, this is the company that's going to do it. And it'll take time to find a new doctor and get a creative team in place. It's fair to assume we're getting a series in early to mid 2028 at the earliest, is what they think. Yeah. Also, RTD's a liar. He's just a straight up liar. But he's been doing that. He's always done that.
Right.
But he was really been doing that this whole time. Like, oh no, 2 seasons was always the plan. No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No.
And his whole talk of like there wasn't.
Well, yeah. It's like I don't know what is bluster and what is true. Where it's like because Holly was asking me, it was like there was never a script, and like I don't even know if I believe that. Like. No, he had a plan. He's like, no, I never had a plan. I never had a plan. I never had a script. I never had anything. Like, I don't know that I believe that either. I think he had something up his sleeve and he's just not telling anyone now out of spite.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why is it so hard to be like, yeah, plans changed. We were working on something, but it didn't work out. Or maybe it didn't get that far. I would believe that maybe he didn't have a finalized, we're ready to shoot from this script right here. But Murray Gold said he had looked at some scripts, some things, to like prepare to do the music for it. What did Murray Gold see if there was no script? And I don't understand what RTD benefits. Maybe he didn't want people hounding him about what the script would have been, but like, just be like, yeah, no, I can't tell you, but no,
right. But no, instead he's got to be like, no, we didn't know. Or whatever. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know what to believe from him ever at this point, because he said so many things and none of them make sense.
Right, right. I don't get it. And maybe there's a bunch of like behind the scenes. I'm sure there's a bunch of behind the scenes politics going on, but like, they're just weird. They handled it so weird.
When then you look back to the Ninth Doctor and what happened with Chris Eccleston, and you start to think that maybe there's something rotten. Like you start to be like, yeah, maybe RTD has a few less than desirable qualities that Chris tried to warn us about.
Right. I we don't need to get into it. I did see something kind of pretty disheartening from about him. About one of the people I follow on Blue Sky is I follow a lot of metal musicians and trans people. My Blue Sky is trans people and metal musicians, and about 75% of them are one and the same. I don't know how it happened. It just did.
Yeah.
But one of them had gotten a song with their band, which is a great thrash band. I played them a bunch on Edge of the Abyss, onto RTD's new show, which has a lot to do with that. So was initially very excited about that, but then there was a interview RTD did recently that rubbed a lot of trans people the wrong way because he kind of both sides the situation, like, and this person who was super excited was like, yeah, I just don't think I'm going to tell anybody my music's on this show now. And it's like, oh man, that's like, so disappointing. How brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I get that like online culture and meat space real life culture is a little bit different, but RTD just kind of seems like out of touch, yet at the same time really trying to like be on the cutting edge of certain social what's the word, topics,
the zeitgeist.
Yeah, but it's like
it's got to be in there,
right? Yeah. But it's like you're also kind of out of touch.
But he also doesn't really care.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like he doesn't really care. I don't know.
He just wants to be cool.
Yeah. Right. I don't know what he wants anymore. Man,
David Tennant. That's all he wants.
That's all anybody wants.
David Tennant and Billy Piper. That's all he ever wanted.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Man, 2028's rough. But
that's a long haul.
It is.
Like we mentioned before we started, though, thank goodness there's some Big Finish. Unfortunately, like thankfully there's like so much Big Finish too.
Yeah.
But I guess it's time to do what I always was excited about, which is dive into stuff like the 13th Doctor with different writers.
Same. 13th Doctor. Do you think it was intentional that BBC made the announcement the day before, or maybe it wasn't even on their radar? Maybe it was coincidental. The day before the new Who minus Disney stuff hit AMC Plus.
I don't know. Probably. I mean, it seems like all this stuff's very timed.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, as soon as that connection was severed, then it's like, so I mean, like, what does this mean for the war between the land and sea? Like, are we going to get that at all now?
I feel like we're never going to get it. We'll just have to sail the 7 seas if we ever want to watch it here in the States.
I guess so. Yeah, like, which is frustrating because it's like I've actually heard good things about it. It's like, well, after that kind of horrible 13th Doctor story that we got, it'd be nice to hear some good, like Sea Devil stuff.
I've heard some conflicting stuff, but it's just like I'd still like to see. So I know, like it's so bizarre that it just like the Disney deal fell through, and it's just like that was just like, all right, well, of course the BBC is going to want it here. You guys can have it over there, but we're just not even going to bother with anything going forward. But at the same time, the Disney era Doctor Who stuff isn't included in the AMC, so that's like kind of
Right.
separate of what you would consider the new Who era now. Like we're gonna have to come up with a
Right.
new name for it.
It's so confusing.
It's the Disney Doctor. Ugh.
And I wonder if that will ever land on Big Finish now, because in the past,
Right.
Big Finish has always had the option to play with anything up to the current Doctor, but like the 14th Doctor, then like but like I
Right.
don't know. I feel like the 14th Doctor kind of falls into this 15th Doctor territory because it's so short, right? Um, I don't
How
know.
how do you not get a 10-14 adventure with Tennant against Tennant?
Exactly.
How do you
Oh,
not do
I
that?
mean, it's
You
so
got to
right.
do it.
It's so ripe for it. And Tennant would be, oh, it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny for him to
Yes.
have to try to like connect into the younger 10 and like this 14 that has seen some stuff as
Right.
12 and 13.
We were talking about Big Finish, and I was gathering, getting my ducks in a row for a potential long wait for New Who.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
so, and I have some Ninth Doctor and 10th Doctor stuff, and I haven't listened to. I don't think I've listened to any of the Ninth Doctor stuff. So I just kind of skipped around in one of those.
It's decent stuff. I haven't heard the newish stuff where Billy Piper comes
Yeah, I
back,
don't
because
think I
I think
have
they have
any of that
some
either.
9 and Rose stuff, which I haven't heard any of that. So I will be excited to dive back into that pool, because I've never been disappointed. I mean, I shouldn't say never, but like
Right.
even my disappointment is like a low tier disappointment, like, oh, that wasn't as epic as it can get, kind of stuff. It's more like, oh, it's always good. It's always in some kind
Right.
of range of good.
Well, I found, of course, I haven't listened through it. Uh, it was good to hear Eccleston as the Doctor, but it seemed very
Yeah,
plot driven, very plot forward, of course, and most of the audio dramas are. Like they're not going to just meander, burn up
right.
however long they have for this adventure. But I was like, oh, okay, it seems very intense, and he's there giving his, we got to do this and run.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think they knock it out in a day. I think
right,
it's like super quick turnaround. Like they
sure.
do all their recording in basically a day or two.
And now I've listened to a few David Tennant audio dramas, but then I hopped over to a David Tennant one, and it's not a matter of good or bad performance. It's just like the Ninth Doctor versus the 10th Doctor, and plus Tennant has so much time as the Doctor. Like he's much more
Yeah,
leisurely, and like, I mean, he could be urgent, but I was like, oh yeah, 10 kind of was more fun. Not to say 9 was bad, but like 10 was, 9
sure.
was 9 was serious, but with like a goofy face, like a goofy, like with a
Yeah,
smile, serious with a smile. Whereas, 10 and 11 especially were like, let's have fun and say some wacky things and occasionally get
yeah.
serious.
Eccleston would let the nonverbals pull
Yeah.
a fair amount, where he's just
Yeah.
like, his reaction was maybe not even a quip, nothing, just like a goofy smile, and that was the reaction, right?
Yeah.
But you won't get that in an audio drama. You have to have a quip. You have to have
Right.
some kind of, or someone has to at least react and be like, what's that smile you're giving me? That kind of thing.
Are there no 11 audio? I know Matt Smith hasn't done
No
any.
official, no official ones, but
Uh,
there are some I want to say that they did get a voice actor to do
okay.
some semi-official ones. I don't know. They've done a lot of 11th Doctor adventures, but I don't know if they've given him an official range yet.
Right.
I think they usually try to wait until they can get the actual actor to come back for those, if they can.
Unless they
Um,
definitively say like no, kind of like I feel
right,
Capaldi. Capaldi was
like
probably like,
12. Yeah,
yeah.
they recast 12 and they're going to give him an actual range without Capaldi, because Capaldi's basically said, no, I'm not going to come back to the Doctor. I did it.
That's crazy to me. Like, I guess I get it, but it's crazy to me because he's definitely seemed like the biggest Doctor Who fan. Of course, he was the biggest Doctor Who fan when he was younger. So maybe by the time he actually played Doctor Who, it was probably awesome, but he was probably maybe beyond it. But you'd think he'd still want to be like, yeah,
But he's
okay.
pulling a 4. He's pulling a Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Tom Baker was never going to come back. And then he got old and he was like, oh, this would be fun to do again.
Really? 9, Eccleston was never going to come back. And COVID. Right. I think it was during COVID. I think that's like,
oh, there was all sorts of stuff
need
that
some
happened.
money.
Like his dad died and all sorts of things happened.
Okay.
And he had a real like existential crisis for a moment there.
Okay.
And then he had some really positive connections with fans of Doctor Who. And I think like he slowly started to come back via the convention circuit. And then I think Big Finish was at one of those conventions and was like, we really should do something. And he was like, I'll give it a shot. And he liked it.
That's good because he distanced himself so hard from it.
Oh yeah.
From everything around it for so long.
When he was still very adamant. I mean, like with this Doctor Who announcement, people have been recycling one of those convention appearances where someone was like, what would it take you? What would it take for you to come back? And he read the list. He's like, sack RTD, sack this person, sack that person.
All the
like
people
a bunch of people are like,
yeah.
Everybody's doing that. And I was like, no,
he's not.
He was just calling his shots. He's not coming back.
Right.
He likes what he's doing with Big Finish, and he gets to do other stuff if he wants to be on camera.
Right. You think Shooty would ever? I wonder. I guess it depends what happens with his career. It sounds bad, but like, I feel like
he was a huge get. He was a huge get, and then they squandered it.
Right.
They just bungled this era of Doctor Who. And it's not that it was bad. Like the episodes weren't bad. It wasn't that, but it was just like they didn't know what to do with it. And so they just fumbled the ball all over the place. And no one ever was like, man, I just have to see that new Doctor Who when it lands on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I will say they, that's true. We had to. I was so excited.
I gotta get me more of that Ronnie. I need a bi-generation of Ronnie.
How is that? I don't know about that. We're going a little
far. That's what I was saying. This new RTD wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
I will say it was bold, man. He took some
bold. He
took some big swings.
Big swings. Yeah.
Should he have? No, probably not. But he did it, and that's something you could say.
He definitely did give us stuff we've never seen before, and some things we did.
Yeah.
Look, I'm never going to complain about more Catherine Tate. Never.
Right. For sure. You can bring Rose 2, I'll call her, along. Let's get some more. Let's get some more Dr. Donna adventures. They're out there.
Oh, that'd be so good. If Billy Piper, the Doctor, shows up and wants to travel with Donna Noble, and 14's like just in the backyard sipping a lemonade, we're like, nah, you just stay here. That'd be amazing. I want that.
That'd be good. Well, that reminds me, if you could bridge
Hot Girl Summer, let's just call it that. We bring it back the summer of 2028. Hot Girl Summer, just Donna Noble and Rose Tyler.
Let's embrace it. Fill the TARDIS with women. which
Do it.
sounds sexist, but no, fill the TARDIS with women in an empowering way. We need
Yeah.
we need 13. 13's in there.
Oh yeah, you got to have a multi-doctor. Yeah,
Rose
Donna
Billy
Noble was sort
Doctor.
of a doctor. Rose is now a doctor, for better or worse. Yeah,
You get Donna in there.
Donna.
She's kind of sort of Donna Doctor. They healed her, so
Get the fugitive doctor in there too. Get Joe
yeah.
Martin. Let's go.
We could do
Get the timeless. No, never mind. Forget I said anything about Timeless Child.
No, we're not doing that.
Get the Timeless Child in there.
It'd be like
River Song.
Golden Girls. Oh, River Song. Golden Girls, but in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I did not really that. Yeah, River Song. That's it. Oh, Kelly.
Yeah.
Kellyanne Ford or Carol Ann Ford.
Oh, Carol Ann Ford. They really
finally do something with her while they can.
They are so gonna miss the boat. I mean, at least we got like her on a TV screen.
It's cool that but it does suck that didn't really
such a missed opportunity. You got Ian before he passed. Like,
right,
get Carol Ann Ford in there, man. How hard is it? You've had everybody else in one form or another, and then like officially, like Peter Davison, he was able to come back. Mm-hmm. Sylvester McCoy was able to come back. Like, granted they were like visions of themselves, but whatever.
Sure. Right. I feel like that's a good way to handle, because people actually age. They're not time travelers, so that's a good way to handle that without it being weird. Although they've worked around that in the past too, to where, what was that? I guess I don't know if that's a canon event. The Children in Need.
Oh, the Children in Need, the time crash.
Yeah. But they had like some timey-wimey magic science excuse for why he looked older.
Right.
Anyhow,
someone pointed out Brett Goldstein as like somebody that would be interesting as an actor or a writer, because he's written for 2 huge shows for Apple TV, which is Ted Lasso. He's involved in that, in the writing side and in the acting side. And then same thing with Shrinking, which is the Jason Segel show with Harrison Ford, and they're both amazing. And so like, yeah, absolutely, I could see Brett Goldstein knocking it out of the park if he cares about sci-fi at all. That's the problem. Right. It's like you need someone that cares about sci-fi at least a little bit,
right,
and then you need someone that's good at it. Like it's that's why it's tough. It's like, who do I want to see come out of nowhere? Like, I'm trying to think of who's even left, and it's like, no, at this point it becomes this what, gerontocracy or whatever of Doctor Who, where it's like all old people now. It's like, who do we got left? Mark Gatiss? I don't know that I want a Mark Gatiss show.
Right. And
maybe I do.
That's maybe part of the problem. Like, it does kind of need to bust out of that clique. It becomes too much of a clique of a whatever. There's another term.
People who have worked on it before.
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we don't need it to go away. Maybe we just need someone with actual new blood.
That's one that kind of ties into a thing that I've been hearing that annoys me. Deadline did an article, and I read it earlier, but I didn't stick too much of it in my brain, because that was a weird way to put it. But I didn't pay it too much mind, because it was essentially like everybody's takeaway was like, well, none of the production studios want anything to do with Doctor Who. And the article was like, they reached out to the higher ups or whoever of 4 different companies that would be potential production companies that would be potential, producers that work for 4 different companies that would likely be candidates. And 3 of the 4 were like, nah, for various reasons. They're like, well, I wouldn't take it on for this reason or that reason. And one of them was like, well, it'd be a risk, but yeah, I'd take it on. And so everybody's takeaway is like, nobody production studios don't want to touch Doctor Who. It's too much trouble. Which is like, what? And then the other
It's
thing,
got
and
a
I
built-in audience. I don't
that's the
understand.
thing. That's the thing. It's insane to me. It's like, man, studios and production companies are all over turning any recognizable IP into a product that they can put out there. There's no way there's not any companies that wouldn't be interested in an internationally recognized IP. Um, and I get that, like, it's maybe not as big over here as it seems to us because we're like hardcore fans here. Uh,
Mhm.
but I mean, if we're here, we're in the US, we're not Brits. And we,
Yeah.
we're all about it. So there's more than a few of us here. The other thing,
Well,
and
you had that really good, was it a thread or whatever Blue Sky is,
uh
about like, what would they do? What maybe they could just, have the doctor come out of his TARDIS and get shot up, and then he'd
oh
then he'd
yeah,
have to regenerate on a operating table. That'd be ridiculous,
yeah,
like
that
that
was
kind
the
of thing.
thing. Yeah, so it was like, well, well, they could have them land in America. And I think it
Yeah,
was even
and
specifically, it was
America
the
could
Billy
produce it.
Piper doctor could land in America, step out, and get blasted in a unrelated shootout, and then die on a
Right.
on the operating
And then he
table.
could be a half human somehow. I don't know.
Right. And I that was the comment I left, but then I was while I was writing it, I was like, who's the modern equivalent to Eric Roberts other than Eric Roberts, but who's like a younger equivalent to that? Some American where it's like, why would you ever cast them as the master? I was trying to think of somebody,
Nicolas
but
Cage.
that dude, that's the one that popped in my mind. I was like, he's probably the same
Oh,
age
I
as
mean,
Eric
like,
Roberts, so I don't know if
he's a
that
little
works.
old. He's not like quite the same age as Eric Roberts was at that time, but
Right,
it's like
right.
that's who my brain goes to. Is it's got to be kind of a weird actor type, or like
Could you oh my god, could you I kinda really want that now. He would chew the
he'd
scenery
be so
so
good as
hard.
the master. I mean, like I would love to see his take on the master.
Man, that'd be incredible. Um,
I mean, you think about the things he's done that are like iconic, where he just goes so bonkers with it. With like in Renfield, when he's basically trying to be Bela Lugosi, and in Spider Noir,
mhm,
uh, where he's trying to be these, Humphrey Bogart
right.
types. Like he's just dialed in so 150%.
I've only watched
He just brings that to all those things,
we
except for Comic-Cons. You can't get a good photo op with him at a Comic-Con,
really?
apparently.
Does he seem miserable
Oh,
or
that's
what?
a meme right now. Have you not seen that? It
No.
was like $250 to get a, photo op with Nick Cage, and he doesn't stand anywhere near them, really, and then he, like, just has the same blank expression in all the photo ops.
Why even bother? Man.
I don't know. It's like, why did you even agree to come if you
Right.
aren't gonna enjoy this, if you're not gonna, like, at least pretend you're an actor, dude. Act like you care,
Right, right.
you know? I don't know.
Uh, one more thing on that kind of remind yeah, before I sidetrack myself, one more thing on Doctor Who. The other thing that was going around, and this was just before the official announcement came out, when it was rumored news that like the special was canceled, and
Mhm.
people were like, they can't find anybody to play the Doctor. Nobody's willing to, and it's like,
Nobody's willing.
what are you talking
He's
about?
like a beloved people would love to be the Doctor, like
Yeah, and maybe I guess it depends who's trying to do the casting. Maybe they can't find anybody they want to accept it. But like the
right.
notion that nobody wants to play the doctor, it's like, are you crazy? Yeah, because actors aren't famously desperate to get any big role they can have, let alone the doctor, come on.
Right. And then you're, like, instantaneously in like, I mean, you're instantaneously then, invited to every Doctor Who con ever created
It
kinda
is
thing,
kind of
like
a
you
job. It's potentially a job for life. Like the
yeah,
convention going, big finish, stuff like that. Like you got
yeah,
some type of income forever if you're the doctor for a while.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know what conventions or Big Finish pays. It may not be, you know, great income, but it's something.
sure. Right. I can't remember what it is, but, like, a lot of these conventions, they have to, offer them a certain amount, or
Mhm.
pay the difference kind of thing. So if they don't make a certain amount at the con, then the con has to make up the difference of what they didn't earn.
So they're guaranteed at least a
Or
base level.
yeah, they're guaranteed at least so much, right?
Right, okay.
And I
Um,
think beyond that number, then it's like a split between the actor or you know, the convention guest and the convention itself.
and people will talk about
So
people don't wanna be involved with, like, a show with such a toxic fan base or whatever. It's like, dude, that's especially a sci-fi a nerdy type show, sci-fi that's every franchise now has
well,
that fan base in
this
there.
is a good bridge into what I've been thinking about, and it's like, and it's a thing we've discussed on this show
Mm,
recently. Uh, Grogu and The Mandalorian, there is zero reason why that should be tanking at the box office, but it is. It's tanking so hard that they're offering a director's commentary track that you can watch, hoping to lure people back to the theaters with this
really?
extra little cherry. It's like, so you're gonna have a big screen experience, but put earbuds in and listen to the director's commentary for a film you've already seen, but you're gonna pay theater money for it, but have the audio from your phone. You're watching the movie
Interesting.
on your phone,
On your
you know,
effing
uh,
phone, it's such a
on your
sadness.
effing phone. And then you have the same thing with Masters of the Universe, where where like the fandom is like actually kind of panicking about this. They're like, but if we don't make enough money, then there won't be a sequel. And it was good, so we want to have a sequel, you know. But it's
Right.
like there's the math of this stuff, and then there's the fandom of this stuff, and they're established properties. But like, I don't know, things are moving on. Things are different now.
Yeah.
Like the metrics versus how the metrics are measured are
Oh, yeah.
so wildly out of focus now, because I don't think it's the way it ever used to be. Kind of like what we were talking about at the top of the show, to bring it full circle. Uh, back then it was 5 channels. So
Right.
you'd really lock in, Uh back 10 years ago, if you wanted to watch a movie, you better get to the theater. Now you just have to wait a month. In some cases, it feels like it's only a month that you have to wait before it's on streaming.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
probably longer than that, but not much.
If it doesn't
A lot
if
of
a
these
movie
places,
doesn't Yeah, I was gonna say, if a movie doesn't do well,
yeah.
they put that streaming in the theaters, they put that streaming real fast.
Mortal Kombat 2 is already on Fandango.
Exactly. That was
You know,
that was what I was thinking.
like,
I seen that the other day that it was going to
yeah,
digital already. I was like, "Didn't that just come out?" Wow,
feels like it
fast.
did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
So I don't know what the deal is. Like, everybody's panicking about Masters, but like they've got to be selling crazy amounts of toys. You can buy people were
Right.
excited about getting a popcorn bucket that's like $45. You can get a sword. You can drink your pop out of a sword that's ridiculously expensive. They're making money somehow. It may just not all be ticket sales.
I feel like they need to reevaluate. uh, I don't want cheap junk. I don't want cheap junk movies,
No.
but, like, they need to reevaluate like, look at the property, the IP if they're doing it based on an IP. Because, of course, occasionally you'll
Right.
get these smaller movies that come out of left field that were lower budget and make a ton of money, like, Obsession, right? Not based on
Right.
anything, it just came out of nowhere. Um, but you're working with an IP, you can't just assume you can pump hundreds of millions of dollars into this movie and recoup it
Right.
for maybe you overestimated the IP. Maybe like Mandalorian and Grogu. At a certain point, I was super excited for that movie. By the time it kind of rolled around, I don't know, the trailers looked fine. It didn't like wow me.
Right.
But Melanie and I, like I said, we had went to go see Backrooms and Obsession. We didn't go to see Mandalorian and Grogu. And in fact, right now
Right.
there's a bunch of decent movies out. I think there's maybe one or two other movies I might have chosen above Mandalorian and Grogu. Um, it's just happened to come
I
out. I w
I
I
kind
would
of think I would go see the Spielberg movie before I'd see Mandalorian and Grogu because it's coming to Disney Plus. I think
right,
streaming has really changed the game.
right. Uh, I think that was I think that was the decision to do a Mandalorian movie was made at a point in which it probably made sense. Baby Yoda was everywhere. And
Oh yeah,
then by the time it actually happened, people were kind of done with Mandalorian. There's like the series seems like it's done. I don't
yeah,
think people were in love with that last season anyway, and they've kind of moved on. It just took too long. It took too long. In which case,
right,
maybe a movie wasn't the right decision. I don't know.
yeah. Plus, like it's a total tonal shift from what we were getting. We were getting a long form storytelling situation where like it felt like a spaghetti western. It felt very serial. It felt like they could plod along and chew the scenery and have like pregnant pause moments with this character that doesn't have a lot to say anyways, right? And then you're going to throw that into the major motion picture machine, which is not languid. It is not taking its time. It's got a certain amount of time to get a lot of stuff done.
Well, and even the presentation, it's just like, okay, well, it just cool. It just looks like a Star Wars movie with Mandalorian and Grogu in it.
Mhm.
If you'd made it look like a space western or something that like was the initial hook,
Right.
give it a little bit more style, something, whatever, just whatever, something. It didn't look
Yeah.
great. The trailer didn't grab me, but what are you gonna do? I don't know. I hardly go to the theater anymore,
Wait
and it,
until it comes out on Disney Plus.
yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
I
I'm
like
already
going to
paying
the
for it, so I'll just wait.
right. Yeah, I like going to the theater,
Oh,
but
I'm with you. It makes sense to see a Star Wars movie
yeah,
in the theater
right.
because it's Star Wars. You're gonna see a space battle. You're gonna want that sound and you're gonna want
Mhm,
that visual.
mhm. Um, but yeah, sometimes it's just like, well, I could probably wait on this one. I'll wait and I'll just watch it at home, type deal.
Right. But I think there's gonna have to be a come to Jesus moment with the industry where they're
Yeah,
gonna have to roll back how much they're spending on things
right.
so that they can't automatically say this was a failure. It's like,
Yeah,
No, it's only a failure because you spent too much. Like, why did you think you needed that much money? Like, maybe just
right,
like funnel it in,
right.
like maybe you didn't need the four bad guy, like the only movies that can probably pull this off anymore are Spider-Man. It's like
Yeah,
you can't you can't afford to have all these huge name actors and actresses play like 15 different villains
yeah,
or heroes in the same show. Like you don't need that. You just need to tell a good story and you can do that with Spider-Man and the Punisher.
right.
Th- Throw
And
take
and
trim a whole lot of the other stuff off and it would still be a great movie.
and not every stick is going to be a suitable tentpole. Recognize which movies are most likely to be tentpole movies that are worth putting those kind of resources in.
Right.
Mandalorian Grogu, probably not. Like it'll get some
Right.
eyes on it, but and that's not to say they put that much money into it. I don't know what they spent on it, but like I don't know.
I'm sure they spent some Disney money on it and they thought, "Oh, well, so we haven't had a Star Wars paycheck in a while.
It's time for a Star War. We need a new Star War. Get some Star War
We need
money.
another Star War.
Daddy Star War bucks.
None of this small fry Star Wars TV show. We're going to do a full-blown Star War.
It's gonna be the whole Star War.
Listen, we're going to do a Star War, but we're not going to have any of them light stick swords. None of that." That's one of those things that the Star Wars toxic fan base was mad about. Was it's the first Star Wars movie without a lightsaber,
Are you
like at
serious?
all. Yeah, because even Rogue One had Darth Vader at the end. So
See now,
Star Wars.
this is definitely a case where the movie I would want is not necessarily the movie that would probably get the fan base riled up and on board and make them a bunch of money.
Right.
I don't even want to see a spaceship. How about that? I don't want to see stars. I want to see Grogu and
No
Mando
stars. Yeah.
stranded in a desert doing desert things. Maybe
Doing
they
desert
stroll through
stuff.
just do
So much sand.
just do a remake of Yojimbo with the Mandalorian and Grogu.
It's
That's it.
just Pedro Pascal and Timothy Chalamet just hanging out in a sandy bar,
Yeah.
just talking about how, hey, you remember when we knew Boba Fett?
I don't
Wonder
need to
what
see
he's up to.
I don't need to see Jabba the Hutt's son. That's
No,
just the
swole.
mind-meltingly stupid thing to even have to read. Jabba the Hutt's son. What?
Right.
Why?
Yeah. Well, and then what was it? Was it the Clone War? The original Clone Wars movie was about that. It was like saving Jabba the Hutt's son, and it was like that be like it was super duper for kids, and then the show itself was much more grounded in reality. Somebody did a comic or whatever, and it was just Ahsoka like looking at Jabba the Hutt's son and be like stinky, because that's what she called him in that movie. I was like, oh, that's funny. I didn't even think about that.
We just can't have anything nice.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
So amazing. Yeah.
Should just have her record canned like little segments. Just play it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we've been going.
You know what's amazing? Air. And guess what? You're about to have some dead air.
Yep, that's right. All right. Yeah, Jess, you got anything you want to mention before we bounce out of here?
I've got, like the main thing that I've done all day is get ready for Okamicon or Ocon Expo, which is coming up in July. And the number one thing that I'm really excited about for that is that I'm just going all in on my Cheru's Shop of Wonders. And so I've got that up on Drive Through Fiction. So, just do a search for Drive Through Fiction and then look for me, or go ahead and search up What the Snowman Remembers is the name of it. And it's What the Snowman Remembers, and also Exact Change, which is the one that I also got published recently on Lothlorien Poetry Journal. Anyways, I'm super pumped about it. I've made myself a tiny paper snowman. I made myself a money tray. I've got a lantern. I'm going to build like a miniature Cheru's Shop of Wonders at the con table, so that if you visit me, you get a little bit of that experience. So
I do have,
that's the main thing.
In the video description, in the description of this very video, there is a link to the Cheru Shop of Wonders on Drive Through Fiction.
Awesome. I'm also in the middle of trying to get a print, like a print on demand version of it. Right now they're sending me a proof copy. The way that they have a whole bunch of hoops you have to jump through, and one of them is you have to get a physical proof, take a look at it, and then you can actually offer that as something. Because I know some people just they want to read digitally, eye strain and whatnot, and I get that. So a physical copy is in the works. It just takes a little while. I'm hoping to have a copy in hand that I can look at, maybe even this weekend or pretty soon. So who knows? It's coming, but it's
physical media for the win.
Yeah.
I've been resisting the urge to buy a Blu-ray or two, and it's like I don't my Blu-ray player doesn't even work anymore. I don't think. I haven't watched a Blu-ray in years. There's no, I can't
Right.
do records and Blu-rays. I just
All right, right.
Plus there's enough to watch. Man, that Zatoichi Blu-ray collection, the 27 film Blu-ray collections had my eye for like 10 years now, though. Darn it. Someday.
Ooh, yeah.
Anyway.
Has it gotten any cheaper though? Like that's the thing, is like there's some things that get cheaper because
Right.
the demand isn't quite there, and then there's other things that just hold.
So
I
well,
feel
and
like
some
something like
things,
that probably just kind of holds.
did Amazon change their logo? They did. I don't like it. But then again, Amazon sucks anyway, so
Yeah.
Zatoichi.
But make a second He-Man movie.
Things like that often will also go up in price because they'll go out of print, especially physical media now will go out of print.
Yeah.
I guess it's a little bit more expensive. Yeah, it's like up to $200 now. It used to be a little bit lower, but the pro with that though is
that's the thing with some of the Doctor Who DVDs.
I was looking at
the same thing. Like
yep.
some of them just hold. They just hold, and it's like, oh, those are holding steady, and then all of a sudden, boop, you can't find it, and now it's like, expensive.
Yeah, no, this Zatoichi collection has gone up in price, but it's Criterion collection, and if it's popular at all, they'll at least keep things. Criterion collection keeps things available fairly consistently. I feel like most of their stuff doesn't necessarily go out of print. I was looking at some Doctor Who sets the other day too, because I was thinking about it. I know a bunch of it hit AMC, and I was like,
yeah, it'd
be nice to just have those though, especially since it's just like clearly the rights are just bouncing all over.
Because it's traded hands now from HBO to Disney to
But you can get really affordable, like even Blu-ray sets, although Blu-ray doesn't, for the earlier seasons of New Who, doesn't matter that much because it's going to be upscaled. Like it's, they were SD to begin with, but you can get like, there's a really like less than $30. You can get a set that I think is like 9 and 10 complete adventures. It's like, oh, that's quite a bit actually. So then I was like, what about Capaldi? And no, it's still like 3 or 4 Blu-rays, different Blu-rays you'd have to, they don't have a complete Capaldi era set. Like it's still 3 or 4 at $30 a pop.
They're just like little by little plugging through those, because what was it just the other day, there was another fifth Doctor season that they released. Like now they're releasing them by seasons, it seems like.
The Doctor Who, I've never bought any because it would always annoy me, where it's just like it seems so sporadic and it's little chunks. And even in the modern era, like I feel like they're just collecting a whole, like, I mean, I guess 9 you don't really have a choice. You could split that one season up, but that'd be pretty stingy. But they would just bits and pieces. It's like, just give me the whole collection, or at least by seasons. And the classic Who seemed like even worse.
It was way worse, but also like, each story was several parts or whatever.
That's
like
true.
You could get you could get Inferno, and that thing was like 7 parts long.
That's true. They'd split them up into the like stories, and that could be 4 to 7 episodes. So,
but War Games is ridiculously long.
But it's expensive if you wanted to try to like be kind of a completionist about it. Too expensive.
Speaking of which, did they ever release that like streamlined War Games? I'd like
War
to
Games
watch
in
that.
color or whatever.
War Games in color, and it was like way shorter.
Oh, I did see It was literally like a night 1 or 2 nights ago, I was on Amazon looking through these things. Uh, they have it on Blu-ray, but I don't know
Hmm.
if it's the War Games in color, which is how it was titled. It must be that like
Right.
edited down version. Interesting. I didn't think about that.
But then you got Spider Noir, where it's like, oh, you can watch it in either one,
Which have you been
and
choosing?
you can flip back and forth.
Have you
Yeah.
been flipping back and forth or?
Oh yeah, it's fun because like if you watch it in color, like some of the characters are wearing like outlandishly bright colors, like orange. I was like, that's awesome. And then but the black and white is so good.
It
You
does
know.
look good. I
Yeah.
watched. I've
Yeah.
only, like I said, only one episode, but I opted for the black and white one. I was like, it's a film noir
Oh yeah.
thing.
First episode was absolutely black and white. I was like, if I'm going to start this, I'm starting it in black and white. But then I was like, I kind of want to see what they're doing with the
Sure.
color too.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to watching more. Just haven't had time, like I said, offline.
It's good, and I mean, like, yeah, we need to like kind of save it for like when we both have seen big chunks of it, because
Right.
there's plenty to talk about. It's fun.
Let's see. Hey, tomorrow. It's always tomorrow, no matter what day we stream.
Yeah.
New Edge of the Abyss tomorrow, Saturday at noon. Maybe I'll be up for it. At noon on ontidyradio.com. Come listen to some death metal. I've cut the show down to an hour long. I was feeling that 2-hour runtime, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. It makes putting them together, since
Yeah,
I'm pre-recording, putting them together. Like the live show, it was fine. It's like, yeah, I can, sure, 2 hours. I'll donate a 2 now.
sure.
You know, I'll spend 2 hours just listening to music, but pre-recording them, like I still got to do it, but then I also have to like edit it right away to get it ready for whatever.
Right.
But yeah, on tidyradio.com to hear some metal, some death metal, mostly during my show. But during the rest of the shows, like it might be a bit rot weekend even, so I might have a electronic music show to go up tomorrow too. That's really. Oh yeah, I released an album last week.
Oh yeah, we'll take that. Yeah,
that has literally been my approach to promoting this. Oh yeah, hey. So I did that.
Get you some band camps.
Yeah, go to superscience.xyz. It's on the front page. It's fine. It's a fine album. Listen, it's an album I completed like 2 years ago. I may or may not have.
It's not a waste.
It's not a right. I may or may not have lost a little faith in it, but I decided I needed to put it out to move on. I think there's some good stuff in there. One of the songs is Doctor Who themed, and I originally wrote it in 2014. So anyway.
Good old days.
Right. Basically, the more synthwavy one is the one I wrote back when synthwave was popular. Back when I started Super Science.
Remember those? Remember those days? What was it? I was talking about something. I was talking about Final Fantasy. Because super friend to the show, Axton, he's playing through Final Fantasy 12 right now, and he's loving it. And I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever played a bad Final Fantasy game. I don't know that I loved 8 after 7, but like 7 was such a high watermark game that it was like, you know, it's just going from 7 to 8. You know, it's like 8 was fine. It was fine. It just wasn't my vibe compared to 7. But anyways, before that, I really liked, everybody liked 6, but I really liked 4. 4 had a really good story. Well, come to find out, it was like they've gone through and they've remastered a lot of these games. Well, the remaster happened way back in good old 2008, which means that we got a 3D remaster of Final Fantasy 4 almost 20 years ago. 18 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Time is so bonkers.
Oh, it really is.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm with you there for sure. And when adults say like it just gets faster, like it does. The older you get, the faster time goes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're not feeling the dread, the existential dread.
We're right back there, man. Just schedule that colonoscopy.
Full circle. Time is a flat circle.
This is my poop calendar in the back. Thank you, Louie. Thank you, Courtney.
That's funny. You do have a poop calendar back there.
I do.
Oh man, my room is a mess. I was gonna say we could almost, like, if Melanie's not going to be on here regularly, we could almost go back to doing video episodes. Maybe we'll have to, but I'll need to whip up my background.
But then we'd have to be presentable again.
If
we ever were.
What are you saying?
No,
that's true. I might have waited too long. I definitely gained weight since we went off video. Dude, I'll go back and watch some of the older live streams and be like, oh no. We've been doing video long enough that there's a very visible change in my appearance.
Once you hit a certain age,
it's just a downhill slide.
Dunk.
It's
just
all
a
downhill.
dunk, and it's like, no, if you wanted to look and feel good, you'd have to do a lot of work. I'm like, no,
that's a lot of work. It is. It's true.
I'm really tired.
I don't like work.
Well, you'd have to be more tired if you wanted to feel good.
Right.
What? This game is dumb.
Yeah. There's a real weird difficulty curve on this game. This game of life.
Yeah. Like, you got to work out more, but my joints hurt. And when I work out, my joints hurt more. And like, yeah, but if you work out even more, they'll take the strain off of your joints. I'm like, no, my joints hurt. I like being able to walk around a room without everything hurting.
All right. Yep. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks.
How do you know we've gone too long?
Over 35s and over.
You're welcome, fellow olds.
All right. We went real long tonight. Okay. Hey, grawlixpodcast.com. There's stuff there. There's stuff there. It's related to this show. You should go there. Also, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. Even though YouTube sucks, but this is where we've been streaming for a couple years now. So come here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. Fridays can also get banned.
They sure can.